Most of my wedding client meetings go like this. I ask a couple what they're looking for in their photography, and I get something like the following. I just want a couple epic portraits that show the environment, like the ones I see in your portfolio, and then just some simple candids. Got it. No problem. That's what we do. But if I were to be overly transparent, candids are anything but simple. In fact, candids might be more complicated and harder to master than an epic landscape portrait. My goal is to make things look natural, but here's my real question. Why does it take so much work to make things look effortless? I think about one of my friends whose hair always looks effortlessly amazing. When I learned how much work she actually puts into it, I was blown away. People work really hard to look like they don't care. And it's the same with candid photography. A good candid photo is so much more than a snapshot. It takes work and skill to make it look effortless. This is a major reality check and sadly not something I can solve in this video. However, we can learn to see and capture candid moments so that you can tell a story. After over a decade as a professional photographer, I have experience making hard things look easy. Maybe not with my hair, but there's plenty of other YouTube channels for that. No shortcuts, no easy hacks, constant learning and improving. In this video, I'm going to talk about what candid photography is and why it's important. Then I'm going beyond light, composition, and moment to discuss more specifically how to find moments and how to use the composition to tell your story. And finally, I'll address the part that you, the photographer, plays in the storytelling. I'm Brenda Bergerine, giving you practical photography advice to complement Mark's gear reviews from our real-world experience as a husband and wife photo-video team. Hit subscribe, it helps us out. So first up, what is candid photography? Candid photography is when you create an image that looks natural instead of staged. There are varying levels of pureness in candid photography. Compare true photojournalism, where the photographer does not interfere with the scene at all, to the more lifestyle photography, where the photographer directs the subjects in a way that looks natural. Depending on your purpose and goal and the purpose and goal of your clients, you might be seeking photojournalism or lifestyle photography. Either way, you're likely going to want to learn how to take better photos of moments. As you can imagine, street photography is more photojournalism, where family portraits are fairly staged. Wedding photography is somewhere in the middle, because people obviously know they're being photographed, but there are also genuine, emotion-filled moments happening. So why are candid photos so important? Candid photography is a desirable trend for a variety of reasons. Many clients want to remember a real candid moment rather than something fake or staged. This has resulted in a growth of documentary wedding photography, as well as documentary family photography and perhaps even street photography. There's something magical about seeing real and raw moments that the street photographers capture. There's something meaningful about candid portraits of your family, especially if everyone isn't looking at the camera. Candid photographers capture moments and tell stories rather than creating something that isn't real. The thing is that it's harder than it looks. Like, take wildlife photography, for example. You think that the photographer just got lucky, when in reality, they may have camped overnight after tracking a certain animal for miles and learning their habits to be able to capture the wildlife in its natural setting. Similarly, with something like street photography, it takes skill to go into a scene and capture natural moments. So let's talk about the how. You will often hear documentary photographers talk about light, composition, and moment being 3 elements to storytelling through photography. We're going to skip talking about light right now, but be sure to check out my video for how to master lighting. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to find moments, how to use your composition to tell the story surrounding the moment, and then the part that you, the photographer, plays in the storytelling. So first, finding the moment. In order to make a candid more than just a snapshot, you need to find a moment. This is the most important part of capturing candids and what makes them meaningful rather than snapshots. If you think about all we've talked about so far, it's clear that this is where the real challenge is. How do you capture that meaningful, raw emotion? How do you show the joy of a wedding? There are 4 main tips to help you here. Number 1, be a good listener and observer. This means you need to watch and wait and anticipate. Listen to your gut, but also be present in the moment. You can't stand on the sidelines and hope to click your shutter at the right time. You have to learn how to know when to click the shutter. And number 2, shoot through the moment to get to the true moment. You might have heard this before, but it's very true. You need to have patience and make sure you captured the moment before moving on to the next. It's really easy to rush around and try to do all the things and capture the longest shot list on a wedding day. But it's worth it to spend more time getting one great photo than a handful of images that lack depth and meaning. So number 3, carry a camera and be hungry for moments. This means just practicing seeing moments in everyday life. It'll improve your photography, but also your ability to experience the joy and gratitude that comes with recognizing all the beauty around us. And you bring that to a wedding day and it's gold. Number 4, shoot what it feels like. We've all heard this before, and this is the challenge with Candids. It's not actually about what it looks like. Oh, look at that pretty scene. It's about figuring out how to show what it feels like. This starts with the moment, but moves into how you're going to tell the story. So that's our next section of tips. Once you know how to predict and capture when a moment is happening, it's time to add some layers to complicate it all. That's kind of a bad pun, but your framing and composition choices such as layering and mood can help tell a story. What else is in the frame? Which brings us to tip 5. Do I need to show everything, or can I get a little closer? In general, getting in close to the moment will help it feel more raw and intimate. Some things seem important, other things actually are important. So you want to fill the frame with the important things. And then again, it's not always about just getting close, which brings us to number 6. Is there somewhere else that I can go that will make the context easier to read? Can you get closer or further or higher or lower? Do you need a different lens with a different focal length? Maybe you need to hide a distracting background or include an interesting contextual element. Maybe it's as simple as changing your angle so you have a better view. If you can't see from where you're sitting in the audience, move. Get the best seat in the theater. This is where composition techniques come into play. Are there any patterns, leading lines, or layers that can help tell the story or isolate the subject? You want to direct the viewer's eye and create balance. Check out my video on shooting with your 85 or the one on shooting with your 35 for specific composition techniques that I use with these 2 popular wedding lenses. I'll link those below. But don't overcomplicate it. Simple is best, which brings us to number 7. Human eyes are lazy. Make it simple. Make it easy to read. It can be easy to try to want to create something new and complex and creative. But have you noticed that sometimes it's a nice, solid photo that tells the story best? Simple doesn't mean you can't use all your composition techniques and lighting skills. It just means don't sacrifice the image for the creation of it. This means using some of the more basic composition techniques like negative space and having space around your subject, or the rule of thirds and just making sure your subject's in the best place in the frame. Which brings us to the storyteller. You are the storyteller, so it's going to be your interpretation of the moment that's created in your photographs. That being said, you don't want to be seen in the photo. You don't want to distract from the story. It's a delicate balance to engage without interfering, to be present but not detected, and to tell the story how you experience it. So here's a few things to remember on that front. Tip number 8, connection between the subject and viewer is key, not the photographer. So this is where you want the viewer to be able to connect to the moment. They shouldn't feel the presence of the photographer in the image. It's harder to do that if it was clearly posed or directed, or they're clearly responding to something that you did. Even in moments when you are posing, try to direct people to be themselves. Number 9, what do you find most interesting? Let that direct you. This is where it's about you. Get interested in the moment. Allow yourself to feel something. Don't be so stressed about the shots that you missed. Be focused on the moment that you're in, because you'll take better photos if you care. Tip number 10, observe and document. Don't interfere, but be present. Engage and be present in the moment. So much so that they forget you're there. I don't like to think of being a fly on the wall. I like to be present and engaged. I like to connect with my subjects. They know I'm there, but there's a difference between me giving encouragement and me stepping into a role that a family member should be in. So let's recap. Remember that we want to learn to find moments. Then we want to use our composition techniques to tell the story. And finally, we want to take on our role as storyteller. Be sure to subscribe for more tips and share your questions in the comments section. I can't wait for you to fall in love with telling better wedding stories. Next, let's dive deeper into one of my favorite composition techniques by watching this video on bokeh. See you there.